graduated in 2011. So total, I've been involved with QCS for 15 years. I feel as though I have a really unique perspective of QCS because I've been here so long. A lot of people who are here today, they only know this building, but yeah, you should have seen us in the beginning. When Heather asked me to speak, I was really excited. Normally I hate public speaking. I have to for school though, so this gives you a really good excuse to use this as a final for my advanced public speaking. And normally when I give a speech, my first problem is, what am I going to talk about? I have nothing on my mind. I don't have anything I want. But when Heather asked me, it's like, okay, Quincy Christian School, I have so much I can say. What am I going to talk about? So today, I'm just going to talk to you about the early history of QCS through my point of view as a little kindergartner, and my experience with Christian education, and how Christian education has impacted my life. When I began attending QCS, we were in the little house at the end of Longwood Drive, and to put into perspective for you how small we were, we had 2 lunch tables, and these 2 tables had a combined seating capacity of 32 people. Kindergarten through 12th grade ate together, and we could all sit at these 2 tables and have room to spare. So when you look at school now and you're like, oh, 60 some odd kids, that's not a lot. That's half more than what we started with. Even though the school was so small, it's like a family. It really wasn't like a school. We, like I said, kindergarten through 12th grade did everything together. We had recess once a day together. It was in the morning. And it was so cool because you could be in kindergarten and you could play with like the girl who babysat you Saturday night when your parents were out. It was just awesome. And our chapels, they were really cool. We all had chapel together and it was so small, but it was so powerful. One time we went on the Christian TV station here in Quincy, and we sang songs, and it was really cool. You felt like a movie star, but then as you got older, you realized it was only WTGR. While I'm reminiscing, I'm going to tell you about one of the most pivotal years that I experienced at QCS, my 3rd grade year. I know 3rd grade really isn't a pivotal year for most people in school, but it's important because, first of all, that was Mrs. Hill's first year, and she was my teacher, and it's weird to think of, when you think of Quincy Christian School, you think of Mrs. Hill. They just go hand in hand. It's like macaroni without cheese. It's weird to think of it without each other. Second, that was the year that uniforms were implemented, and high schoolers, if you think you have it bad now, you should have been there then. We had to wear French toast. It was awful. I still to this day can't go into a store and look at a polo and think, is that the right shade of hunter green? Third, that was the year that we got our new building. And it was the old John Wood building, and you got to see the building be moved in piece at a time on truck beds, and that was really cool. The building itself was a step up, but it wasn't so great. It had a leaky roof and drafty rooms, but it was because of that building that we can be here in this room, which is probably from the kitchen to that wall about the size of the old building. The times that I spent being driven down that gravel road are long gone, and most of the students here probably have never been down Longwood Drive. Today, we are sitting in this amazing building in city limits without a gravel road in sight because of those years that parents were dedicated to get their cars dirty. I wouldn't change a single thing about my experience at QCS with the education that I received. I'm not saying that every day was perfect. Sometimes I probably idealize it a little more than what it actually was. And there were times when I didn't agree with the direction things were going. But even on those days, I still had amazing teachers. You have to see Mrs. Yi try to teach the Pythagorean theorem. You want to see Patience of a Saint? You have to watch that. Not only are the teachers amazing, but they try to implement Christian worldview into every lesson they teach. The best example that I can give of this was when I went to the high school for driver's ed, because we don't have it here. And I sat down and I was really scared. I've never been to public school in my life, and I didn't know anyone, and I was in a classroom of like 60 people, which is a lot bigger than the average class size of like 14. And I felt really uneasy, and class started, and all of a sudden, it like smacked me in the face. We didn't pray. And like, I know enough to know that in public school, teachers can't lead classroom prayer, but it shocked me completely. Like, oh my goodness, people start out the school day without praying? Like, that is crazy. So I realized how important that was to my education. It's just that 1 minute before you start your lesson, it can change your entire day. I had taken advantage of a privilege that not many people had. But to me, this lesson that I learned going to a public school was the greatest in showing me how to appreciate the Christian education that my parents were sacrificing for. Prayer in the classroom is a fundamental freedom that I was able to experience every day here. Yet, it's a freedom that many are denied. Christian education has impacted my life greatly. Because of my experience here, I made the conscious decision when I was looking at colleges that I was going to go to a Christian school, and I actually only applied to 2, but they were both Christian, and now I'm going to Hannibal LaGrange University, and I'm a media communications major with an emphasis in public relations, and what I intend to do with that is become a fundraising consultant for not-for-profit agencies, specializing in Christian schools. I don't know if that job actually exists, but I'll make it work. If I had not come to QCS, I wouldn't know the struggles that not only Christian schools, but other not-for-profits have when it comes to raising funds. And because of the time I spent here, I have a passion for it and an understanding of what Christian schools need. I want to thank you for allowing me to speak today. And I especially want to thank the people here who are being honored. You're all awesome. Your time and sacrifices not only affected my life, but the lives of every student who has come to QCS. I'm sure at times advancing the mission of Quincy Christian School has seemed like a thankless job, but it's not. You really are appreciated. Because of your dedication, QCS is no longer in the little house on Longwood Drive. Instead, it is a thriving and growing academic institution at the heart of Quincy, Illinois. In the past few months, I've seen so many positive things happening at QCS. Mr. Murray is awesome. I have no doubt that with God's blessing, QCS will continue to grow and reach its full potential. I hope today that just hearing my story a little bit, that you will realize that the hard work and dedication you put into it has not gone without any reward. I'm really excited about the future, and I hope you are too. And even if it takes another 15 years, I will be here helping, and I hope you will be too. So, thank you, and please welcome the Secondary Student Ensemble.